I'm like,
Yeah.
and you're just,
Lifeboat,
yeah,
yeah.
you're just like, and you always, it's crazy. I talk about this.
Hi, welcome to The Perfect Gift at 6000 Goodrich Road in Clarence Center. There's a lot of special things about this place that we'd like to tell you about and invite you in to come and see what makes it so special. We reside in Clarence Center in a beautiful 3-story historic building from 1872 called the Eshelman Building. Our storefront opened in 2003 based on fate, walking into an empty space and feeling drawn to it, knowing that it was meant to be to do something special, which turned out to be gifts. Our store is named The Perfect Gift after the birth of our child and a lot of beautiful things in regards to our faith, and it's after the verse, every good and perfect gift comes from above. So we feel very blessed to be here. There's a purpose of our store that's well beyond beautiful things that are here. Some of the things that make our store unique is that we do carry buffalo gifts, and all of our artisans that supply our buffalo gifts are right here from Western New York. So the wonderful thing about the storefront is that we don't have to look far for our talent because there's some amazing people right here in Buffalo, and we love to support their business and almost be an incubator to some really wonderful new designs and creative minds and talented hands. So we're excited to offer that in our storefront. We have clothing and home decor. We do have some brand names as well, including plateware, special jewelry, all different things that people like to come out and see. Unique gifts that you can't find everywhere else is also something that we really pride ourselves here in The Perfect Gift. We're excited to be a part of a community that we can give back. Much of our proceeds go back into supporting those in need and people around us and our community, and we really feel that that's one of the biggest purposes of why we're here, and we're excited to be able to do that together with our customers. So often we find artists or they come to us, which really is just a special way to run a business because we're really working together within our own community.
Sure.
We do different events that we travel to New York City, West Coast, other locations on East Coast, big hub cities, and we go and we find new styles, different designs, things that are up and coming, and we're very excited to be able to bring those back here to Buffalo for our
So do you
customer
go
base.
to, but I think that's exciting that you can
Yeah.
go to like New York or Boston
Yeah.
and kind of see what people are looking at.
Absolutely. We look for trends, we find trends, and we bring them in, and we make sure that we stay in alignment of what we have here as our values and goals here at The Perfect Gift. So a product and their maker really has to match a lot of what we're doing here, which is to bring just a wholesome, great holiday, great quality product, whatever it would be that people are looking for, that they could find it here at The Perfect Gift. So that's really one of our goals as well, is to work with people that have the same values that we have in running our storefront. So it's wonderful for families and the community.
And it's a beautiful building, and then I think for the history of the building and where we are now as a culture, this is the right purpose for this building.
Amen.
You know, and you feel that. You have a great story about this building that when you first found it.
So when we first found this building, we weren't exactly looking for it. It just happened. It was meant to be. So we pulled up. I had just had a new baby. My husband and I started our family. We moved to the area and really just felt a push to get out of corporate America, although that was a blessing at the time. It was really time to settle and just take care of the family. So we saw this building. It was empty. We pulled the car over, walked in. The door was open, and the landlord happened to be inside and just started saying he was showing it that day. And 2 hours later, we ended up committing to the space. We did not even know exactly what we were going to do, but when something is so meant to be, you feel that strongly about it, it's worth the risk, because the greater risk would just be saying no. So we're really glad that we said the yes, because here we are. That was in 2003, and we have truly come to see that there is absolutely a purpose for us being here and working together with the community. Our customers are like our family. Our family is a part of our store and helps, and our staff is also like family. So it's really just everything coming together. And I think that's really what people feel when they walk in the door. They'll come in and say, there's something different about this place. And the answer is, yes, there is. There is something different. And
The greater risk, you found it, got out of the car. And so you're like, honey, stop the car.
Yep.
That type of quintessential, and when you think about, you know, the path of your life,
Yep.
and you think about that moment and what brought you here, and that is just a divine, beautiful, meant to be.
It
like
was.
You're at this crossroads and you enter this building. 2 hours later, congratulations, right? And
Commit to the
I have no
space,
idea
not
what's
even knowing,
happening. Yeah. So what was the decision? So now you have a huge decision. You've committed to this. You knew that this was the right move for you, but you didn't know product selection. You didn't even know really what you were gonna go into. So how did that occur?
Okay. So I knew that I was always excited about being creative or decorating different, identifying trends. I knew that that was something that I always loved to do, but I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do with this space. And in contemplating it, I remember my mom had given me this beautiful little inspiration devotional because I just had a baby, and she said, this is something that is nice, it'll uplift you. And I just remember thinking to myself, well, if this was fate meant to be, then I really just need to take a minute and reflect on this and pray on it. And I remember opening up the devotion, and it said at the top, page 9, and it was entitled The Perfect Gift. And it talked all about how a child is a perfect gift from above, and I reflected on how my daughter had just been born, and that was such a catalyst for change for our family, and she was my perfect gift. And I just thought about my faith and what I am so grateful for what God's done for me, and that is the perfect gift, what He's laid out for me in my life and for all of us that believe. And I just started thinking about how all of this is suddenly coming together, and I looked at it and I thought, well, that's it. It's the perfect gift. So I guess I need to carry gifts, and that's how I decided to start the shop. And much of the things that have happened here have happened in that way. So I can't really take full credit, because when something's meant to be, it's meant to be.
I believe the same exact thing,
Yeah.
that I am just a conduit for the right thing, and I have to be aware of where that right thing is, and I
Yeah.
have to listen
Yes.
to that. I have to listen to what I'm being told and where I need to go.
And then trust that what you need is going to come to bring it all together,
Yes.
which is part
Because
of it
there are
too.
many times
Right.
when I'm like, you're just like, the water's right here.
Oh, please.
And I'm like,
yeah.
and you're just,
Lifeboat, yeah.
you're just like, and you always, it's crazy. I talk about this all the time. And the further I go into this, it's amazing how stuff, because I'm not working from a point of like me. I'm working from a point of us and here. And I think when you do that, and you just want to give to people, because I grew up in a restaurant, so we fed people. It's the same
Yes,
premise.
yes.
And so now this is it's a different way of feeding. Yep. And so that's what happened here. And the perfect gift, because I always tell people, when people get like, so, if you just say this to somebody, they're like, whoa, but I'm always like, things are gifts every day. A moment is a gift, a person is a gift, an experience is a gift.
Like
it's all a
interacting
gift.
with the customer, right? There's so much more to this
That's a
place.
great story.
Yeah.
And because it's a really great name, and it's so much more than just
It is. There's a lot behind
gift
it.
shop.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
It
I'm
is.
so happy we captured that.
Thank you for asking.
So now, this was how many years ago, though? When you first found it?
16 years ago.
16 years. It's crazy. You look like a kid still.
Sweet 16
That's
again.
even crazier. Yeah. So it's been 16 years. So how has this morphed and changed over the years?
So when we first opened, we were mainly gifts and some artisan items, but then that continued to just grow and grow. Through the years, we got more involved with fashion. We now have women's clothing. We've really increased our jewelry and accessories, definitely increased more of the lines in the store, what's available here. And we continue to evolve. This particular industry is always changing, so you have to just stay on top of things, and that's part of the fun of it. It keeps you honest and hardworking, and you have to make sure that you're always just keeping in touch with what your customers are looking for.
And that's communication, right? You're getting to know your
Absolutely.
customer base and getting to know your clients, watching what they buy,
Right.
giving them the best experience you can.
Right.
Do you get a lot of tips from customers?
So it's wise to be open to feedback, and we really work as a team, even as our staff, because I've learned more and more as leading this business that it takes more than one mind. It takes multiple people, and it's important to open up your heart and mind to receiving feedback and learning things as you go, admitting mistakes and celebrating victories. And that's really a lot of what's happened here over the years, and I appreciate it. I really do, and I think it's really made us who we are. That's really a big piece of what's happened and how we've really changed through the years, and I'm excited to see where we'll go from here.
Do you know, I do the same thing, and I think any of the good, I don't mean to say I'm a good business leader, but the point is, I
you
listen
are.
to people, and I wholly listen to people, because everybody, I value your opinion as, I'll always be tapped into this goldfish bowl, and I can't see out of it sometimes, and it's hard to draw. People get so like, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to hurt his feelings. I'm like, hurt my feelings because I need to know.
Yeah, we get sharper.
Yeah, the only way I'm going to get better is through your feedback.
Yeah.
And it's not about you saying something that you might be a little chagrined to tell me.
Right.
If you don't tell me, then I
We're all
lose.
in trouble.
Yeah,
Right.
so I need to know.
Yeah,
And so
it's so true.
It's a fine balance if a customer says, "Oh, I don't really want to," but look, tell us, right?
Right.
And at the restaurant, it was the same thing. Like people are like, "Well, it was good." I was like, "Look, it's got to be great. you know,
Yeah.
and you have to have this
You have to
dialogue.
do that.
Yeah,
It's true.
and
It's
you
true.
do that with your staff, I'm sure too.
Yeah.
You have to just listen, take their feedback, and integrate it. And I always say, if I hear one thing from one person, it's a valued opinion. If I hear the same thing from two arbitrary people,
message.
it's going down. Whatever that change needs to happen,
Yeah,
it's
a
happening
message. Yeah,
today.
I agree.
Because what are the odds? Right, you're two completely different people see the same exact issue,
Right,
then
right.
it's changing. And then that way, I've done the same thing. You learn to grow and evolve. Now your product selection, you said now you're into fashion, into jewelry, and you have local artisans.
Yep.
And the local artisans, do they, is there like this network or is there a place online where they go and you're kind of part of that community? Or do they just stumble in the door and they're like, here's my awesome wear, or my awesome craft, will you carry it? How do you
Right.
find them?
So no surprise, it's actually the second. A lot of times people stumble into the door because it's just meant to be, and we connect. Sometimes we bump into them somewhere, but ultimately it has to be just the right synergy between us and the right product mix, the right quality. And we just really love to work with talented people that are just positive and like-minded and just wanting to just contribute to those around them.
Yeah, and I love when but artisans are also salespeople because it's the best quality to have to say, I made this thing, I love it, I want to share
Right.
it with the world, and I am bringing it to you.
Right.
I'm not giving it to this, you know, co-op and
It's wonderful to have
Yeah.
some of these special things. Like a lot of the products that we carry here are unique. They can't be found other places, which also makes it special. Especially that we often do live in an online world, but at the end of the day, people still love to come in, touch, feel, see something, and there's an experience with shopping that is really a special lost art. And as people come in here, they just, you can see them unwind and enjoy it. Sometimes we work with them to help them find something. It makes it so special and personal. So they tell us what they're here for. They're looking with their whole heart to find the right thing. And you can tell that, and it's just reflected in their choice, and it's packaged beautifully when they leave, and they're sure to return. So it's a win-win.
Your gift wrap, right? And shopping is a meditative experience to a larger degree for a lot of people. And you are a destination as well.
Yes, our area has so much to offer. Clarence Center is a beautiful, quaint area. It's historic. The building's historic. There's a lot of tradition that takes place in this building and has taken place through the years. So it's really nice to carry on to know that we are now part of history too.
Yep.
So when we do a Christmas event and when we do our Thanksgiving events and the special things that we do here at the store and people coming in and making memories here now, like they did back in the 18 and 1900s, they're still making memories here, and we're a part of that. So it's really an amazing feeling to be a part of that.
Now you take over this business and you purchase the building. So did you?
I did not personally purchase it. We purchased it as a family, my husband and I, through a side note. Just we did that as like our property, like a property company.
Gotcha.
So like I kind of pay rent to myself. So the Perfect Gift doesn't own the building. I'm a tenant
Gotcha.
to myself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And now, but did you know that you must have known some of the history of the building? Like, and because you are now, not only are you this shop owner, this
Right.
beautiful store, but now you are curating and stewarding
Right,
this
the
historic building.
Yes.
Which is, this building's a big
Yes.
deal.
It really is. I never was very connected to history in my whole life growing up. Just didn't make the emotional connection. And then once we moved in here, it all changed because I realized like, if these walls could talk, like this is a totally different ball game. When you come into a building and you look at the floors and you think of all the people that walk them and
Yeah.
all the stories that happen here, and that we are a part of, you know, ownership and having the store, all of it, just it's a game changer. So it's a big responsibility, but it's an exciting one. And we do take pride in being good stewards to the community, to our customers, to our staff, and just really through the shop, because that's always what took place here. This Clarence Center was just a hub for entrepreneurship, for community, and we continue to try to work in evolving and putting together community associations and ways that we can reach out and invite people to come and enjoy this area, because there's a lot to see here, and it can't really be found a lot anymore.
No, at all.
And I think that's what's so special about it.
Yeah, and I told you this, I mean, but you don't, people need to see this and people need to understand what this was, and people need to understand that for a long time in this entire, on this entire planet, in these first world countries, whether it's Europe or here or Canada, this quintessential crossroads community was really the heart of so many places. And we've lost that to a larger degree. And the consolidation of effort and love and care and entrepreneurship that is in these places, it's a shame when you go to another town and you know that it started in this point, but you can't see it anymore. But you can see it here, plain as day. So it's not only just a quintessential example of how to curate and steward an area, but it's an example of how to move forward in a proper way while respecting the past. And I think it's incredible. It really is. And what you've done here is just magic, because you never destroyed, you know, a lot of people would come in here and they would respect
Change it, yeah.
So tell me about that decision. Was there any decision? You just like naturally had to keep it?
It's the building being as historic as it is, it just has a presence that it just deems respect. And we just respected the fact that this had been here since 1872. And the charm is in some of the things that are aging and are part of what makes the building special. And the things that should be updated, that could be within the look that still honored its history, that's what we did. And I know my family's worked hard at that, and my husband's worked hard to make sure that it looks the way it needs to look. And I think the community appreciates the fact that we see ourselves as just caretakers for this time for the building, because this building is going to be here long after we are. So it's just our turn to do something for it and to do it well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now, as far as the business goes, like just straight business, throughout this, it's seasonal as well. So you'll change out your product selection for Christmas and fall and spring and summer. And we can expect that. Now, do you jump ahead a little bit, like a lot of retail? You're a month ahead out of the season?
We usually do. We similar to retail, we bring our seasons out for people to enjoy them. Being a small business, we typically don't push a season ahead too much. That's just something that's just always been on my heart.
Yes.
So yeah,
you know what? Uphold that tradition.
Yeah,
because I hate that when you go into a store and you're like, we just had this,
right? And
I can't even breathe, and now you're pushing this,
right?
So you do.
Yeah, we're sensitive.
You respect it.
We're sensitive to how soon we push the season, and I also look to my customers for feedback. I know they're ready when they start saying they're ready, and then we respect that, and then we reply, and we start putting the things out that we have ready for them, and we're excited to change out the seasons. What's really special about the building is how it has the same look and feel, certainly always, but the touches that each season brings, it's the beauty of Buffalo. But when you see what happens in here for just spring and then summer and the flowers blooming on the porch and then all the beautiful colorful product, and then that switches over to fall, and then the warmth that takes place and all the fall traditions that we do here, and then our holiday is just magical in here. It's just, you see the beautiful trees and just the whole, the ambiance is not even something that I can describe. You need to come out and see it. It's just amazing to see it during the holidays. There's just a special feel here, and we're involved in a lot of special holiday activities that engage our community in giving back, and that I think adds to just the beautiful, just the nostalgia of the place, of making sure that we're carrying on and how we're treating each other in this community of Clarence Center, which is very special.
And but over 16 years now, you are dug in. You have the Merchants Association now, and you spearheaded that, correct?
Yes, we were one of the families.
Was that your baby?
So there was a few of us that spearheaded that early on, and that's I think that's headed into it's well over 10 years.
Wow.
We do large events, and it draws now thousands of people to the Four Corners to just enjoy the history of our area. And it's nice to see new businesses come in and just work with them, help them, and just watch how the Merchants Association grows, and knowing that this whole area was, in fact, a beautiful mixed zone of residential and business. We're able to uphold that and work together.
Which is very rare.
It is.
Yeah,
and it's,
especially with the historical prospect. You're just like, well, a lot of places at some point kind of get separate, and you can't have this live work. Now, the farmers market, let's discuss that real fast. So we're talking, like over 10 years ago, you started the Merchants Association. That's grown into what it is now. And then on the heels of that, you started this beautiful farmers market here.
So, right, and it wasn't single-handedly, but we recently were excited to be approached by some farmers of the area that very much wanted to be a part of Clarence Center and the history and really the walking district that it is for families to come out and enjoy. And so our Merchants Association joined with them to be able to bring a farmers market to the area that has been very much loved by the residents here as they, grab their kids and their bike and their dog and they come out and they enjoy it, and they're really congregating here in the center. And the families that are represented at the market that are selling, they are all farmers that have either grown or produced their own product. So they're not reselling it. It's just been a wonderful, it's been a wonderful partnership to be a part of because we're supporting them. We're supporting our community by giving people a reason to enjoy where they live instead of heading elsewhere. And it really just all works hand in hand with the heart of all the business owners here and what we're looking to accomplish within our community and to really engage together.
Now, I love that because there's nothing worse for me. This is just a personal quirk. When I go to a farmer's market, I need the authenticity. I want that authenticity because that's why I'm here. But the resale aspect of farmers markets is so popular right now.
Right.
Where
that's why I sort of just threw that in there because it also differentiates us.
It's like this building, this building and your shop and you. So this is like the 4th or 5th time I've been here. It's like coming to an awesome friend's house. When you go to a friend's house, I love this house. I love the vibe.
That's wonderful.
You're just comfortable and you get this little ping when you walk in the door.
Perfect.
So it's crazy because I'm sensitive to this stuff now. I've been doing this for so long. And you walk into certain places.
There's something special.
There's
something
you feel
different.
It, right.
Yeah.
And there's been nothing but goodwill here for how many years?
Yes.
And this has been a hub of the community.
Yep.
And I always say our energy, whether it's a positive energy or a negative energy, is left in the places we.
Oh, amen. That's true.
So,
Good.
Wow.
So some special traditions that happen here at the Perfect Gift that are in conjunction with giving back to the community that we'd love to invite you to. We, every fall, work with a local family to do a gratitude tree, which is right outside of our storefront that people from all over are welcome to come and fill out a little tag of what they're grateful for and hang it on the tree. And it just helps us all to be reminded of the power of gratefulness and that no matter what you're going through, there's always something to be grateful for. And so we're just very happy to have that tradition taking place, and I think it's just been a beautiful thing and a healing thing for our community. Additionally, we, a few months later, take that very same tree and turn it into a giving tree, and it's a tradition that we started years and years ago, and we've been able to kind of transfer it in using this tree where we have this angel giving tree that people can come and take a tag off the tree, come inside the storefront, and confidentially we work with families in need, and we can pair up what they need with someone in the community that wants to help them. A few months after we do the gratitude tree, it changes to the giving tree, which is a tradition of giving back to the community at the holidays that we've done all through the years, but we've been able to incorporate this tree into it, which has been wonderful. And with that, we have angel tags on the tree, and someone in the community, our customers, can take a little tag, bring it inside, and then we have a list that we work confidentially with families in need, and we can pair up their needs with someone that wants to help them, whether they want to bring one thing or fill the bottom of their tree. So it's just been amazing because we have collected thousands and thousands of gifts in doing this, and it's just another wonderful way that this building gives back to the community, that our storefront can represent what our hearts really are trying to inspire to do.
It's really touching, that honestly. Like, you think this was you? Did you start? You started it, right?
The giving tree, yes. The gratitude tree, we had a local family come to us. They saw one out of town in Florida shortly after, a few years after they lost their son unexpectedly, their only son, so it was hard for them.
The heart, the little heart that's
that's why there's the heart there, to just kind of remember that tie-in. And, they wanted to do it not necessarily just in remembrance, because that can get a little tricky because you don't want something to be like a... So it's more like, okay, they found that it was helpful for them to give gratitude through tough times. And when they approached us with the idea, we definitely wanted to partner with them and make it something special that takes place here. And it has drawn people from all over. We get people that are from different countries that have to be visiting Buffalo, and they will come and write on the tree in different languages. It's really amazing.
What a big,
it's a big deal.
What? It just is like... Just
so
light.
Cool.
It just spreads light and
it's
joy
great.
And happiness.
It's
and
wonderful.
love,
so you see all these tags hanging on the tree, and then that tree switches over to the holiday tree, and it's amazing. We live in such a beautiful area, Western New York, there are wonderful people here, and they're just looking for someone to help them and to give them a reason of how they can pitch in together. So we put the opportunities here, and they receive them. So we wouldn't be able to do it if people weren't willing to come and be a part of it with us, but they are. And that's the whole thing with the store. It's always been a partnership. It's not a one-sided game. We are on the same team as our customers and community.
Yes, my big thing. Well, I remember I said we're all on this little boat together.
Yeah,
and
my
that's
gosh.
what we are. And the thing is, you know, I lived in all these different places, and you know what I miss? I love the Four Seasons. The weather. I know people are always like, it's too cold. It's too. Listen, it's great to have this change, and you have to have the contrast. You have to have a dark, you know, hard winter to have a beautiful summer, I believe.
And to appreciate it.
I lived in this place where it was Groundhog Day and it never changed. But
Yeah.
what I missed most was the people.
Yeah,
And I missed that about us.
it's special.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
people
special
here
place.
are like, we are this underdog community, and we had a tough
Totally.
century,
Yeah.
really, and we're just climbing out of it.
And we will.
Yeah, and
We
we're
will
still-
roar. We'll be excited, to get on the other side of it.
Yeah, and we're what I love about this community, and that's really why I wanted to start the show, is to share the deeper point of living here, and to share the community that we have, that through adversity we stuck together, which adversity bonds people. But then as we're being successful, we're still sharing that. You
Yeah.
don't see that in a lot of communities. You start to see,
Yeah,
it's like
breaking off
Yes,
and
whether
taking
it's a
credit.
yep.
Everyone's rallies together. Yeah.
Awesome
It's
to see
great.
that. And that is personified in your trees here and in this building and in this community. I can't tell you the amount of goodness and good people that are in this community that I've met already. Everybody is generous and giving and loving, and they love their community, and it's all about
Yeah,
like,
we work together.
yeah, there's no
We got our
like-
little prayer keys. People write their little requests and they put them there, and we're always thinking of people that need it. Like, it's just cool. Like, there's
That's awesome.
There's more to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else would you like?